Hi, I'm Courtney Castillo. This is Justine Dockery, Rachel Lane, and Matt Ferguson, and we are doing our jury analysis video. And our first jury member is Brianne Jenkins. She went through a recent breakup. She has a lot of boyfriends. She is bisexual. She smokes and parties. Her mom is an alcoholic and her parents are divorced. She doesn't have a dad in the picture. She's grounded a lot. She doesn't have any religious views, and she does have a younger sister. I feel like we can kind of play on the fact that she's not religious at all, or she doesn't have any religious views. We can't really make any biblical references just so we don't offend her in any way.
Yeah, that's not going to help our moral point, because we can't use God as a reason to not do anything.
Yeah, and the fact that she has a bad home life, that we can say that Sean came from a bad home life, and the sympathy that it creates, she can relate to and make her more sympathetic towards Sean too, because she's been in that situation.
Yeah, and a lot of things, we could also play on the fact that she has a younger sister, that she has to just like Sean, he has a younger sister, and so kind of she would need to be there for her little sister. And just kind of playing the fact that Sean needs to be there for his little sister.
Yeah, because what we're going to do is say that Sean couldn't get into the fight because he has a sister that he needs to act as a father figure for in his home, and he couldn't put himself in danger. So Brianne would understand not putting herself in danger, because with only having a single parent, she knows that as an older sibling she has to step up to in her house.
Sean has to be a stable person, and a fight wouldn't make him that stable. So we have to that kind of backs up our point that he shouldn't have gotten involved in the fight.
Yeah.
And we also don't want to make any we don't want to use a girlfriend as a witness, because Brianne could get offended.
She wouldn't agree with that.
She wouldn't agree. Yeah, she dates guys and girls, but just the fact that
Yeah, and we don't want to have any of our witnesses or bring up anything about relationships, because a relationship for her is probably a lot different than it is for us, since we are heterosexual.
Our next jury member, juror is Kelsey Anthony. She has a little sister. She does not drink or smoke. She plays tennis. She is in sports. She has been injured a lot, and she has almost been in a fist fight. I feel like we can kind of once again play back on the little sister. She also needs to be a good role model for her little sister, and even that just like Brianne, and just like Sean having a little sister, and also she's in sports, she knows also Sean has
his responsibility to his team
as
to
a
not
star
get
football
hurt.
player.
Yeah, and that way he's more conscious of danger.
Yeah.
So he's not as willing to put himself to get in a position to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because he has a team to carry if they want to go to playoffs or whatever. And also for Kelsey, she has almost been in a fist fight, it said, via Facebook. And so she knows that fist fights are dangerous and could cause harm. And that's
just probably why she didn't get in one.
So it's probably why that she didn't get in one. So she will understand the danger and understand the reasoning why Sean didn't want to get involved in the middle of one, because she herself didn't get involved in one. She had the choice, but she didn't.
And then her being injured a lot just kind of ties back to doesn't want it to
not wanting to put herself in risk like that.
Yeah.
Because she's been injured and she knows the outcome of getting in a dangerous situation.
Yeah. And her being in tennis, just being involved, having a commitment to her team. Our next juror is Lauren Gilbert. She was in Dixie Belle's for
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Her former teammates said she was stubborn and controlling. Her home life wasn't so great because of her parents being divorced, and she's extremely close with her brothers. I think a lot of like her being close with her brothers has a lot to do with like she needed someone to go to through her parents' divorce. And
Also, I think it's important that Lauren is stubborn because the jury has to come to a 100% decision. And so if we get her on our side from the beginning, she'll be stubborn and like stand up for it and won't let her like mind be changed.
Yeah. She might be a real leader in the group of the jurors, and I think it's important that we aim at her home life because, you know, she's in common with the rest of them.
She's like a important, yeah. And also if she's not on our side, she'll be stubborn and not be willing to change.
yeah.
So we need to, she's a clutch juror.
Yeah, and then like her being controlling, she's, like you said earlier, like she's passive in class, but like she might be like more, like she might have a big impact, like control like the decision of all of it
In a small group,
just in
yeah.
a small group, yeah.
Exactly.
Our next juror is Irene. She is a good home wife. She has an older sister. She's Orthodox and is very disciplined in her religion. She's conservative, not much of a risk taker. She's sweet, generous, and like we can tell in class, like she cares about her grades a lot, and that's like really important to her. We can't really talk like about religion due to like Brienne. Like we're gonna have to stay like neutral in that because we don't want to like offend like Brienne with talking about religion, but we also don't want to talk about like against religion.
Yeah. We have to float in the middle and not talk about anything at all, really.
Yeah.
About religion.
Yes. And also the fact that Irene is so sweet that she wouldn't get in a fight, but she like is sweet and like wants justice to be served, and so like she still might be deterred at the fact that Sean laughed and took pictures at this whole thing.
And so, yeah, that's why it's important that we kind of counter that by saying that the pictures had a purpose, because that way Irene doesn't get offended by,
Yeah.
you know.
If like by the fact that Sean took pictures, it helped convict Laura. If we say that has happened, then
She'll
Irene,
be more concerned about like the justice being served for Betty.
yeah, and she'll be like, okay, well then that's good that Sean did end up taking the pictures because in the overall picture Betty is at the greater fault,
Yeah,
obviously,
she's
because
the
she's
victim.
killed someone. Laura, yeah. And so if by Sean's doing this, then Laura got in trouble, then, you know, it might make Irene not want to convict Sean.
Our next juror is Brianna Wilson. She has never been in a fist fight. She ran away home from once, but we don't know like when that was. She has held a gun/knife, one of the two, for self-defense. That's what she had said on Facebook. She's Christian. She's really strong-willed. She's moved a lot, and she's not much of a people person. Like on Facebook, there was posts like saying like I hate life and like I hate people, and like I mean she has friends like, but she's more of like on the reserved part. Like she's not as outgoing. Like isn't really willing to like make new friends. Like she's kind of like content with the friends that she has. And then like I feel like the self-defense, like her like having self-defense like has a lot to do, like that we can play on that a lot. Just the fact that I mean she can kind of see where like Sean wasn't getting in the fight for his own like self-defense.
Yeah, but that also could work against us because she could be really protective.
Yeah.
And so if she saw somebody else getting in trouble, she might be one of those people who wants to get involved. So I think we have to kind of walk around that a little bit. However, as you said, she's not much of a people person, and if she's put in a group of like 6 random jurors and they just don't happen to all be her friends, she might not wield as much influence as much as like the stubborn Lauren Gilbert would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this earlier, that the fact that she might be just a defensive person and like thinks that he should have defended Betty, yeah. But the fact that if we say that he didn't get involved because he was also needing to provide for his family, so it was his own self-defense but also his family's defense, because if they didn't have that older male figure, they already don't have a father figure, so it would be even worse, so that would also kind of get her on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And then also like the moving around a lot, like it just shows that she hasn't really had much of like a stable home, like just like what we're gonna create for Sean. Like through his witness, he doesn't have much of a stable home, like his mom and stuff, and like not having a dad. So it just kind of like Brianna can kind of relate, like moving around a lot, not much.
She'll be more on our side because of that.
Yeah. And our next juror, last juror, is Sarah Tinsley. She is a Christian. She was recently baptized within the past year. She's dating David Biles. She's really sweet. Her mom is divorced, or her parents are divorced, and her mom was remarried. She's in the band. She has a lot of friends, and friends like are a big part of her life. She's really outgoing. She's an ASL. She's never been in a fist fight, but she's been punched in the nose. She has a brother. She wants to be in the deaf ministry, and then she's really family involved. Before she dies, she wants to find a cure for diabetes. So that's Sarah Tinsley. I think kind of like her, she does have a brother, so there's has to
family affiliation,
yeah. And then
relationship.
I feel like friends being a big part of her life, that could kind of be it could go for us and against us. She could be if I were friends with Betty, I would be really mad at the guy that he didn't stop.
Yeah.
That Sean didn't stop it. But then again, I could see her also being I'm glad Sean didn't get in that, because he could have been the one killed.
Yeah.
So it just kind of goes both ways with that.
She also said she wanted to get a cure for diabetes.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a selfless act. That's a lot of your own time that you'd have to spend to do that. And so this would be a selfless act if Sean had, tried to break up the fight. So it's almost like we have to overcome that with her and try to convince her that she's protecting someone else who's more important, like her family. Like Sean would have to be protecting his family by not getting in the fight.
Yeah. And the fact that she's so sweet and loving of everyone,
just really outgoing.
yeah, and just kind of easygoing and sweet. She obviously, I don't think she would ever get in a fight. I think the fact that she's been punched in the nose is probably in a sport, accidentally.
Yeah.
And so she might we need to maybe make it seem like the fight was pointless and putting other people in danger, and just make it seem so opposite from what she is, just caring and stuff, and make it seem mean.
There's no way she could have done that herself if she was in the same situation.
Yeah, make it seem almost kind of on the fact that the fight was very immature and illogical, and there wasn't really a point on it to have all this animosity, because Sarah's just really caring and loving.
Yeah. So altogether, I think our jurors all have this kind of thing, with the exception of Irene, of home lives that are kind of complicated. So I think if we tie that into our witness and to who we build up Sean as a character as, I think that'll really help us.
Yeah.
We'll grasp every single one of the jurors.
And the only one who's not Irene is very caring and understanding. So she would also
it's not she's the stubborn one where we really have to get her attention, because she is so caring.
So there you go, Mr. Heath.
Sure, you have a great day. See you later.